Hello, she is in a different setting today. Yes, period slay. It's October. Happy October. I had to change the setting because I felt like I just didn't want to do it in there, and it's nice out tonight, and I didn't have any motivation to put on makeup or anything, so you're seeing me with glasses today. You're welcome. Anyway, so we are going to be doing my September wrap-up. Girl, if you can't get it together. Okay, so I read 5 or 6 books. Honestly, I don't remember how many. So we're just going to, as per usual, go through them in which the order that I have read them, and I'm going to share a little bit of a summary and a little bit of my thoughts. Okay, the first book I read, first of all, was Telling Lies Online, and the manipulation in this book was unlike any that I have ever read before. This was a graphic, it's supposed to be a romance. I don't know what kind of romance, because to me it was giving manipulation more than romance. Okay, let me tell you what it's about. This book has me mad, so we're starting off like... Hello, Wind. Oh my gosh, she's Beyonce. Oh my god. Claire and Jay met online while using a dating app. The app had a bug and tons of profiles were messed up, saying that some people were in this state, some people were in this state, and the genders were swapped. Okay, that's where we get into the story. Jay's profile, aka Jamie, her profile said that she was a man. And Claire's profile said woman interested in women. And Jay's profile said man interested in women, or something like that. This app is notorious for the LGBT. It's like notorious for that, as well as like straight people meet up. Okay, so let me just clarify, okay? Jay's pictures are not good on the website. They're like from terrible angles, terrible lighting, whatever. And she's a mass presenting lady, period slay. We love mass presenting, period slay. We love that. However, it is like you could probably assume that her gender is male, I guess. Claire thinks that Jamie, aka Jay, is a man. Okay, and instead of Jay coming right out and saying, "Hey yo, I'm a lady," or whatever, Jay just goes along with it. And so they're just talking back and forth still after the website is unglitched. Claire ends up getting a position in Jay's area. So Claire shows up at Jay's job and is like looking for Jay, and Jay, aka Jamie, comes out in her work uniform and is like, "Oh, I'm Jay's friend, I can show you around." And then they start hanging out, and then Claire, first of all, decides to move there. This book is a mess, and so I was really interested in it. I was aware going into it that it was going to be bad. My fiance read this first, and so she was like, this book is the worst book I ever read, you have to read it. And I was like, okay, period slay, let me just jump right on that. Okay, I was like trying to look for some good. The only thing that was good about it was that it honestly did keep me interested, so it has that going for that. But I don't think that this book is like a thing that should be looked up on or like romanticized, because Jay was manipulative AF, like every chance. Nothing that came out of that girl's mouth was the truth. Final thoughts on this book: 2 stars. Don't read this. It really started out the month really great for me, because it could only go up from there. So I really appreciate this book for that. Second book I read in September is The Pretty Little Liars, book 1. So first of all, if you don't know Pretty Little Liars, what do you know? Let me tell you a little bit about what it's about. So 3 years ago, Allison De Laurentiis went missing on Labor Day weekend while hanging out with Aria, Spencer, Hannah, and Emily. Today, they're distant from each other, and like they all have their own stuff going on. Aria just came back from overseas and is seeing an older man. Emily is secretly on the LGBT. Spencer is living in a really competitive household in school, and like just so much like competition over there. It's giving Aries. Okay, so Hannah used to be fat and now she has the eating disorder. Have their own stuff going on, right? And then one day they get an anonymous message from this person signed as A, saying that they know about the Jenna thing. Okay, what is the Jenna thing? Well, I don't believe that we find out until book 2. First of all, there's so many pedophiles up in this book, as well as the show. Rosewood is like where they the pedophiles go together. Emily's mom was racist and homophobic. Like, love to know if A is still the same A in the books as in the show. And then Toby is creepy, but like in a different way than he was creepy in the show. And the book that I read had updated pop culture references from like 2017. Please miss me with that. Like, please miss me with that, because the way that they talk to each other and like the controversies that happen was like 2000s controversy, and now you bring in 2000 controversy with updated pop culture references from 2017, 2019. That's disgusting to me, and I really didn't like that. However, this was so dramatic, and I was really entertained, and I spent hours reading this book in 2 settings. So I gave it 5 stars. Okay. Illegal in jail. Yeah, that's illegal, I think, to me. Next book that I read was Flawless, which is book number 2 in the Pretty Little Liars series. So in this book, the liars are getting ready for a charity event called Foxy. However, the BS and the pedo men never stop. That's what I wrote for my summary of this book. There are rocky relationships everywhere, all over. Spencer and her family, Spencer and the old boy that she's seeing, and then Arya and who is she talking to right now? Andrew, Emily and Toby and Maya, and then Hannah and Sean. And so in this book there was stuff from like the first season of the show and the second season of the show sprinkled throughout, so it's understandable why the show didn't follow the books exactly, because while it was a great idea for a show, if they followed the books, it would be like a little bit confusing, because if I didn't watch the show, I would be confused with this particular book. So the dance was like not that much of big of a deal. Like, they were building it up the whole entire time, and then like the middle end, the dance happened, and then it was just like 2 chapters, and these chapters are extremely short. I didn't like the fact that if I didn't watch the show, I'll be a little bit confused, so I went ahead and gave this one 3 stars. Yeah, I don't know why I was about to say 2 stars. Something that happened probably saved it for me. The next book that I read is called None Shall Sleep, and this is The Silence of the Lambs retelling. Okay, 2 teenagers team up with the FBI to hunt down juvenile serial killers. Emma was a victim in the past of a serial killer. However, she escaped, so she has knowledge on how to deal with these types of people. Travis and Emma develop a friendship that helps him gain information that helps him find this killer. Emma has to interview this 18-year-old serial killer to gain the information on the active one. Okay, first of all, you guys know where I'm going to go with this. Was I expecting to be like screaming, kicking my feet, crying, throwing up? Yes, I was. However, was I think you can tell that I was not. No, yeah, the killer reveal it was just fine. I wasn't like shook by it or whatever. If I didn't know that this was the Silence of the Lambs retelling, then I would just think it was a regular FBI teen young adult type of novel, because it didn't give Silence of the Lambs to me. The only thing that gave Silence of the Lambs was when Miss Girl went to go talk to the serial killer. It was fine, but it was not horrible. I wish the twist was more dramatic. But overall, I thought it was good. And I really think that I popped up with this drawing mate. And as you can see, I rated that 3 stars. The next book that I read this month of September was How Can I Help You by Laura Sims. So I read this twice. At first, I gave it 5 stars, period, slay, like literally no thought about it. And then I was like, hold on, actually I really need to reread this again, because I'm having questions. I feel like I missed something. So let me tell you what this book is about. Margot, who is a librarian with a past full of secrets, and in the past she went by Jane, a nurse who left behind a trail of premature deaths. Now she is hiding in plain sight as Margot. When Patricia, a failed novelist, gets a job at the library, she starts to see hints of who Margot really is. When a troublesome patron dies in the bathroom of the library, Patricia notices Margot's strange behavior and begins digging to find out who Margot truly is. Okay, first of all, that summary is slay and iconic and just like the book. We'd love to hear it. So I'm just gonna tell you some of my thoughts, and then that's what I'm gonna do, because that's what I've been doing this whole time, girl. Get together. So I love the different perspectives of how different Margot and Patricia was. I listened to the audiobook and read the book. There was two people narrating, and then I like how they had different voices of each of the characters, like Naomi, Yvonne, and Liz. Whoever was speaking, Patricia or Margot, whoever was speaking, they had a different voice for each of the people. And I just really loved how, first of all, how different the perspectives of Patricia and Margot were, and then you get to see how they view the other library workers because of the difference in their voices. Like, you get it. Like, if that is not the most late thing that I've ever heard. Also, like, I wanted there to be more of Patricia and Margot interacting outside of the library. I wanted more of the interaction before, like, stuff went down. There was this crusty man, as there is in every single book, correct me if I am wrong. There was this crusty man who was in the library watching inappropriate things, and then, it's switching the computer screen to something suitable, like trucks or whatever. And I talked to friends who, first of all, one friend who works in a library, shout out bestie, and then a friend who, she also used to work in the library too, Slay, said that people did that all the time, and do that all the time. Like, I feel like that's disgusting. Like, if you do that in public, don't. This book was already so good, but I did have to bump my rating down from 5 to 4.5 because we were just left with so many unanswered questions, which, that's fine, I guess. The third book for me has most of my questions answered, and or I am okay with a satisfying, like, non-answerable question. You know what? If that made sense, it made sense. But also, what I really loved about this book was that the writing style was very similar to Mona Awada, and I never have seen that ever before. And if you have any recommendations on books that, or authors that have a similar writing to Mona Awada's style, like, please let me know, because I have been on the hunt ever since I read Bunny back in, like, 2021. If you guys want to talk more about this with me, feel free to let me know in the comments, and if you want to say a spoiler, you can, like, say spoiler and then type it out, because I need to chat about this book. And, like, I had a very good conversation with Bestie May and Bestie Maddie about this book on Zoom. Thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciate you. Much love. Where was I going with that? Yeah, and I was just cracking up the whole time. So, thanks for coming, guys. And then I just finished this book today, but we did start it in September. This was Undead Girl Gang. I read this with Bestie May. We buddy read this, and I freaking love this book. This was a unique take on zombies. Like, I have never read anything like this. Teenage Wiccan Mila Flores resurrects her best friend after her best friend passed away. People are calling it a self-harmed death. You get it. So Mila was like, actually no, like, Riley would never ever do that. And this was a week after two other people did the same exact thing. So Riley is a teenage Wiccan, so she went to the crystal shop and was like, hello, I need to buy these things for a resurrection spell, period, slay. So Mila goes to the graveyard and she resurrects Riley, and she accidentally resurrects the other two girls who recently passed a week before Riley. And so these girls, when they go within like 100, oh my god, my neighbor came out, I'm embarrassed. When they go past 100 feet of the main character, Mila, they start turning into like decaying things that they are like in their coffins buried. And oh my god, I just freaking love that touch. First of all, I love the dialogue. It was so funny. It was giving Heathers. And like a YA Heathers, the humor of it, I feel. And then when Miss Girl's skull kept showing every 5 minutes, like, that was kind of ew, but that was also kind of like, when the twist was revealed, I was like, ew, but I also knew it, but it was ew. but like ew in a good way, you know what I mean? So I really appreciate you, Bestie Maid. Thank you so much for suggesting would like this in the first place, and for suggesting a buddy read with me, because that was so much fun. And yeah, if you guys haven't read this, I suggest that you do. So those are the books that I read. I believe I covered 6. I don't think I have anything else to say, except for that I lied on my September wrap up and I put 7 books, but where did the 7th book even come from? So just like a couple things that I have to say. Thank you so much for the feedback on my 23 questions video with Vogue. I thought that was so much fun to make. Also, for the Women's Wrong support group, hello besties, we will be reading, you guys already know, but I'm gonna tell you anyways, we will be reading The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. Reading Carrie right now. If you guys read Carrie, let me know, and let me know your thoughts, and let me know how you feel. Have you read The Weight of Blood? I would like to know, because I have read it already. This will be a reread for me, and I really liked it, but I am reading Carrie right now. Am I liking it? Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Okay, bye.